Anyway, back on the start line. This is Van Merkstein, the Dutch privateer in a Citroën DS3. Great to see the Dutchman as well making it this far against another driver who's not had the best of results so far this season, but finally he's made it this far and without super rallying as well.
That's it. I think it's the first time we've seen him in a power stage. Torrid season so far for Van Merkstein Jr. Actually got his dad's co-driver in because of the accident they had in Greece. They just swapped co-drivers while his other one recovers. But he'd be pleased to get this far. A Dutch driver, quite a specialist on tarmac. This is quite used to him, and that's obviously why he's excelled a little bit more this weekend than the gravel he's learning on.
Interestingly, they are just avoiding that sort of highest bit of curve you can see just on that shot before. A couple of these curves are quite high. This one's okay. I think they can clip
Ken
that
was
one.
Right across that, though.
Yeah, that might have cost Van Merkstein a couple of seconds. You need to take the smoothest lines you can to carry as much speed as you can. Let's have a look at Van Merkstein through these tricky chicanes. They're very tentative, understandably so. As you said, they are pretty unforgiving concrete blocks to avoid at these two chicanes.
I think they will move, but at what cost to your car, I'm not really sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure a radiator would fare too well against one of those.
You might get away with it on the last lap, but I'm not sure about the first lap.
Peter Van Merkstein screaming through the streets of Trier. Terrific to see our first power stage in the middle of the city centre, of course. 4.4 down on Ken.
Up.
Sorry, up on Ken, of course, yeah.
Yeah, up. So the tarmac's very even, and interestingly, we thought he maybe lost some time because he didn't take those big curbs. So yeah, Van Merkstein up on it, but he's a tarmac man. Yeah,
Ken was perhaps taking it easy, just concentrating on getting through to the finish after, as we said, what has been a difficult season so far. Anyway, Peter Van Merkstein rapidly bearing down on the flying finish. He's into his last lap on this 3-lap loop of Trier.
Took a little bit more curb that time.
Down into the last run through the straight, last trip through the chicanes now.
Surprising, I mean, I know Ken's no superstar on tarmac, but I'm surprised how the time he set compared to what the record was. A long way off the record.
Yeah. 3:11.4, remember, François Duval's record from 2007. Van Merkstein's not going to get past that, but he is going to move into the lead in the power stage. 3:24 dead. That is the time to beat so far.
6.5 seconds quicker than Ken Block. He will stand in the power stage podium area. Next on the stage will be Matthew Wilson. Can he do anything?
Yeah,
Ken's
so
off.
Yes, Ken.
Didn't have to stand there very long, to be fair, and he's away.
Looking stylish as ever. Of course, just released his Gymkhana 4 video. That was pretty spectacular. Anyway, another Ford driver back on the start line. This is Matt Wilson. His 5th attempt at Rally Deutschland. Did finish 6th here last year, but it's not been his weekend in 2011, has it?
Well, I think we're going to say that for a lot of drivers this weekend. I think there's only 2 of them who haven't had a problem. Matthew Wilson, in the rain on Friday morning, just lost his confidence. And then yesterday morning, first stage, I think very lucky. He went off the road and hit a tree and actually did no physical damage to the car whatsoever. But Matthew's just struggled this weekend. It's been a tough weekend for him.
Yeah. As you said, there are a few damp patches around. I wonder if, as the heat from the sun does warm up this stage in the tarmac, this is could be getting quicker and quicker. We often see in the gravel stages a bit of clearing. The road speeds up a bit as the cars go through. I wonder if today, with the sun beating down and the damp patches drying up, it could get quicker just for that reason on the tarmac.
Well, maybe. I mean, say in a racetrack, the more rubber that gets laid, the quicker it gets. But I don't think we're going to get not enough, really. I mean, yeah, they're doing 3 laps each, but
terrific view on board here from Matt and Scott Martin. Let's have a listen.
Max right, 100, turn left 3 plus, continues past, 50, left 5 plus, 40, left 4 plus, past through.
And this is a split. They go left twice and right once when they finish the stage.
Max left 20, turn right 2 plus.
It's interesting 20, to see from on board how close they are getting to these curbs and how tight the lines are.
130, keep well left.
It's actually really it's really relative. I mean, there's traffic lights.
0.6 of a second up on Van Merkstein's side, sorry.
That's okay, but it's actually really relevant. There's road signs, there's junctions and everything. So the everyday person, I mean, this is downtown Trier. hotels that we're all staying in are lining the stage. The bars and the restaurants that we've eaten in are all lining the stage. It is, the local residents have lost their town for about 24 hours because they started building this yesterday.
See Matt like Ken right over the pavement there. Big cut from Matt. 3:24, the time to beat, and as we can see him come through these 2 chicanes again, nice and tidy through there. He's not far from the flying finish now. Let's see if he can beat that time from the Dutchman. Just this short blast to come into the left-hander, and that's the flying finish. It's not going to be much in it, but I think he's going to be quicker. Yep, 3:23.2, 0.8 of a second up on Van Merkstein. So Matt takes over. Well done. Good to see Peter here in the power stage. Big smile on his face. Pretty much a local rally for the Dutchman. But his time in the power stage holding enclosure is done. It's Matt Wilson and Scott Martin's turn to wait and see if their time could be beaten. So what will we expect from this man? Again, we've not seen Jari Matti Latvala win a power stage so far this year. Wouldn't expect him to do it on tarmac, but he has won a couple of stages this weekend despite all his problems.
He has, and to be fair, this man's got nothing really to lose. Currently in 14th overall. He's been as low as 17th after dramas. He led after stage 1. Could he just round this whole rally off and bookend it with a stage win at the end and take 3 points? Again, interestingly, he has put a brand new tyre on the front right. That's for the long corners to try and give him a bit of grip. The first lap, they will only be getting the tyres up to temperature.
Yeah. As we've said, this is the first run they've had through this stage this weekend. Obviously, we couldn't close down the whole of Central Trier for too long, so it is a case of sort of easing their way into it. They might have done it last year and previous years, but they won't know exactly what the grip levels are doing. As you can see, there are still those few damp patches around, so yeah, they're going to have to take their time a little bit to work out the limits of the stage this year.
I think they will, unfortunately, for Matthew. I don't think if he's sat there particularly long, because Latvala has been... He's been... Just look how low we are. We're at this camera in the bumper as we're going through these chicanes there.
I think he looks noticeably quicker through there.
Yeah.
People have been quite tentative so far, but...
I would be as well. They could hurt, though. It's good.
Yeah, terrific view.
Using so much more road, though, as well on the exit.
Yeah, well, Jari Matti is one of the Ford Abu Dhabi drivers, 2.2 up. He's one of the Works Ford Abu Dhabi drivers, so you would expect this. He's only starting this early because of the problems he's had again this weekend, and it's a story that's been the same for a few rallies for Jari Matti. He just can't buy any luck at the moment.
Not at the minute, but I think the car, they were a lot closer to the Citroens than we have seen in the past. When it was the C4 to Focus, they weren't as close as what they are DS3 to Fiesta. They're much closer now. He's just bumped the curb on the edge. It won't be a problem, but that's how they knock tyres off the rims. When we always say about they got a puncture, not necessarily is it always the tyre fault. A lot of time it's the driver fault.
You say it won't be a problem, but we have seen a lot of punctures this weekend. So obviously the first test for the Michelin tarmac tyre. They may have to go away and strengthen it a bit. But anyway, let's have a look at Jari Matti as we come into the last couple of corners. Matt's time to beat 3:23.2. There he is with Scott Martin watching on. I know it's going to be tough, yeah. Jari's quicker, 3:20.4.
That bumper camera made those chicanes look so much wider than what they really are. I don't know why, but it just did. But Jari, I think Jari potentially could stand there for a little while.
Yeah.
As you say, he's not won a power stage yet in this...
Well, here's a look at the standings so far, just to confirm, 3:20.4, that time from Latvala. Wilson still in second place, but he's going to leave our enclosure now, but he's in the point-scoring places so far, as is Van Merkstein. This is Armindo Arrojo, leaving the start line just a couple of moments ago. He's already in the stage, of course.
The Mini, it's the first time we've seen the Mini this weekend. Privateer car, and Armindo is doing a great job, up to 8th at the minute.
Yes, it's not just the Works Minis competing, of course. We have seen a number of privateer runners with Armindo and Daniel Oliveira, the Brazilian,
and
using
Patrick
these.
Flooding this weekend.
Patrick Flooding as well this weekend, but there's been a few of them around. but Armindo Araujo, we're watching at the moment, the Portuguese youngster. He's a national champion from Portugal. His best results so far in overall standings are in 9th place, but a lot of the time he's been running in the PWRC. He's actually a double champion in the production championship, a multiple champion from the Portuguese national series. So this man has talent, but he's still very much a work in progress in a WRC car. Before these runs in the Mini, I think just one outing in a Mitsubishi on his home event a few years ago.
Yeah, well, that's true. And you look at Araujo's only done like 32 rallies, and he's double world champion in Production Cup. He's a fast learner. There was a stage earlier on this weekend, on the Friday, where we had 4 minis in the top 7. So the car is coming on strong now, and it's good. We need more privateer minis out there, I think, also to help the factory team. The more cars are out there, the more you learn.
Yeah, really disappointing for the works team to lose Chris Meek at such a late stage. But of course, having Armindo Araujo is another good sign of progress. He's come into this final stage in 8th. He's moved up a place, following 4.4 seconds down on Jari Matti. But
that's understandable.
Yeah. For Araujo, it's just about securing this 8th place now. I mean, that's a fantastic result for him after just 3 runs so far, I think, in the John Cooper Works. Had his problems so far this year, but this weekend in Germany, he's survived the toughest event of the season almost. But let's see what he can do in the power stage. Can he make up any of that time on Jari Matti? It's a big ask on just this final lap now. Over the curbs again.
I think he'll just get through without. He doesn't want to make any mistakes. He wants to get that finish. That's what he's looking for, really.
Really distinctive sounding John Cooper Works and twin exhaust as well, of course. There's Jari Matti watching on. We've seen this a few times as he's often starting early on with problems having to recover from earlier in the weekend. 3:20.4, the time to beat from Jari Matti Latvala. Araujo's through the last chicane, past the towering presence of the Porta Nigra into the final left-hander. He's going to be slower. Let's have a look at his time. 26.7 for Araujo. That's 4th place, so not good enough to get into the point-scoring places, and Jari Matti will have to
career best 8th place.
Yeah, that is true. Career best 8th place, so Armindo can take a lot of credits away from this weekend in Germany.
I got a feeling those two boys will be stood there a while, but here is Henning Solberg. Can he do anything this weekend? Henning Solberg, Ilka Minor, another man who's had a few dramas, brake issues, but that's Henning's driving style, he says. But here he is just coming round. That was obviously a recorded picture. He's coming round to the end of the first lap here. Hard on the brakes. You can see how hard he is on those brakes. Normally at stage end, Henning's brakes are always glowing orange because he's having to adapt his driving style on the tarmac.
Right.
Yeah, obviously left foot braking, but he seems to be harder on it than most, isn't he?
Right minus.
Ilka Minor here. Just let's listen to the pace notes. Obviously English-speaking Austrian and Norwegian.
Yeah, Henning, it's not his favourite surface, but he always seems to enjoy himself on tarmac. I mean, despite all the problems, he does seem to have had a smile on his face a lot of the weekend, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's made us laugh as well. I mean, yesterday morning, the end of the first stage, he had a vibration in the rear of the car, and he was like, my head is shaking so much, my eyes are going to fall out. And he just comes out with some great ones. He's had the steering column fall in his lap yesterday afternoon, so he's had plenty of dramas, but enjoys rallying, has a lot of fun.
It looks nice and calm here. A little chat to Ilka as they negotiate the chicane. You can see him working the wheel hard as he flies through there.
Maybe just adjusting a pace note there, something.
Yeah. They have had 3 laps to get the best out of it. One more to come after this pass through the finish line. Here we go, into the final lap.
It's more a driving thing for Henning with these 2.5 down on Latvala, but yeah, this left foot braking is just a bit heavy on him. He needs to adjust it.
Yeah, 2.5 seconds down on the time from Jari Matti Latvala. Going to be a tough one to beat, as we said. That could be a time that challenges 4 top honours in the Circus Maximus power stage. So what Henning can do as he powers over the cobbled streets, a sign of
that shot there. You can see how low the cars are to the ground.
Again, avoiding that curve on the outside of the corner. Probably again on the right here. Jari Matti, co-driver Mika Antila watching on. His best result here was 7th in 2008. He's on course to equal that, isn't he? 7th place again.
Yep.